Hey crafty besties, it's your crafty bestie Tabby, and we're going to learn how to make envelopes today, because as you see, I don't have any. Oh, you can't see that, but anyway, I'm making, I was gifted this Grumpy Cat little golden book, and I'm gonna make it into a journal, but I hate to show y'all me sewing books together because it's really quite clunky and ridiculous. I'm not very good at it. There are thousands of pages out there where you can learn that 3-hole pamphlet stitch that I'm so fond of. But I need some envelopes to go in the pockets. And so I didn't have any 8x8 paper because I wanted 8x8 paper size envelopes, because I wanted to be able to put a 3.5x6 card here in the envelope. And I don't have any 8x8 paper, which is what it says. If you don't know what this is an envelope punch board by We Are Memory Keepers. This is what the back looks like. There's little punch out places. But it gives you a beautiful way to use this. Now, I've used it wrong so many times. It was so funny. But I did finally learn how to use it by following these instructions. Yes, they're right there and they're simple, but some of us don't like words very much. So I'm going to show you how to do it if you are like me and you don't like words. We're going to bring it to the 3 1/8 inch place, which is what it says for 8x8 paper. And we're going to punch it. Then we're going to slide this, I don't know what it's called exactly, a score tool. So we slide the scoring tool. Now, we are not going to use this again anymore, okay? So we're going to go here, and we're going to put the score line right here at the little pointy place, and we're going to punch it. And we're going to score it again. Then we're going to do it again. We're going to turn it to the score line. Punch it again. We're going to take that score line. Oh, helps if you run along the line correctly. And just do it gently, because if you do it really hard, depending on your paper quality, you can make a nice hole in it. I've done that too. And here is the final result. Ta-da! So you fold it in, and for me, for this bottom flap, I like to fold it down, and I like to glue the little pointy place with a glue stick. Scotch glue stick is, in my mind, a superior glue stick. My opinion, solely my opinion. Then, I mean, other people might have other glue sticks they like. I like Yoo-Hoo glue too, but it's a little pricey. So, affordability wise and strength of use, I'm going to go with this as my go-to glue stick. So then, but it has a very harsh point. I didn't like to have a harsh point. Well, if you have this tool, you can put it there and do the little punchy thing. I think that is a perfectly fine way to do it. If you don't like that, if it's too still pointy for you, you can always take your scissors and curve it yourself. And I always make a crooked curve, so that's why I don't usually do the own curve myself. There comes Jasper, our bestie. Now, in these journals, I do like to put a little bit of Velcro. So I have some little Velcro dots. I like Velcro on envelopes because I like for you to be able to open it and reclose it and open it and reclose it. So I put the dot, the first dot. They're self-adhesive. I don't think that you need more glue for these because I think they have plenty enough stickum for what we're doing. And you fold it down, so you put the opposite piece on it, and then you fold it down to the paper and just give it a good smoosh. ta-da, you have an envelope. Great for filling up with stickers or pictures or cards, whatever you want. I'll just show you an example. Maybe. That's too big. I have some smaller cards over here. No, I got all kinds of cards over here. And that's still too wide, but you get the idea. Stick it in. Maybe you just want to, maybe you want this card in there and you just want to fold it in half. Or fold it some other kind of way. Slide it in. Bob's your uncle. There you go. I'm going to do this ad nauseum. At least until I run out of these big papers that I've cut. And we're going to hopefully have some nice little ephemera for the Grumpy Cat journal and the other journals that I plan to make. So also I'm going to do some red ones, because what isn't fun about red envelopes? I mean, seriously. Oh, I forgot. What'd I forget? I didn't hear y'all hollering loud enough. Don't forget to do the score line. You won't know where to turn it. Because that's where I messed up using this before. Is I wanted to measure it every time. And if you measure it every time, you're going to have a very, very wonky thing. Because, yeah, it doesn't measure at that place every time. So, have you all had a great weekend? Did you spring forward with your time? I hate daylight savings time when it comes. But I like to keep it, like, forever. I think that life would be better with just daylight savings time, not with going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And I think I'm just going to use this to punch the little corner place. So it's just enough. We are in the U.S. we do this, except for I think in Arizona and one other place, but it's just ridiculous. Why we got to do this? Back and forth, back and forth. Just make it one thing and let it be. You know, the Beatles had it right. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. No, I do not have the rights to that song. I just like to sing songs to y'all sometimes. If you're still here with me, thanks for hanging out with me. Tell me what you all did. Put it in the comments below. What did you do this weekend to prepare yourself for daylight savings time? Did you go to bed early? Did you set all the clocks? We ran around last night like crazy people, setting all our clocks. And that was fun. Setting our clocks, getting ready to have daylight savings time so we wouldn't be late. I can't stand to be late. I know that if you know me, you might not know that to be true, but I really don't like to be late. And over the years, I have gotten better about it. I'm just going to push those over into a pile. I have gotten better about being late. It's really not fashionable to be late. My grandmother on my mama's side would tell me, sweetheart, there is nothing fashionable about being late. And she's right. It's horrible, and it was a bad habit. And I used to think that I had more time than I had, and I really didn't have as much time as I thought I had, and I would not leave any margins in my day. I would plan everything, like meetings, right to a minute. And you cannot plan a meeting for an hour and expect it to only take an hour. If it's supposed to be an hour, it's always going to go over a few minutes. And if it doesn't, count that as a blessing. And seriously, be prepared for it to go more than an hour. And give yourself 15 minutes at least in between, so you have a little bit of a buffer. And then if you're early, early's good. Early is not bad at all. I mean, think about it. If you have to go to a job interview, on time is late. 10 minutes early is on time, and on time is late. So just know that, you know, how you do for a job interview should be how you do. And that one's not perfect, but you know what? It's a handmade journal, and I'm just going to do them as best I can. There we go. So, you know, life lessons with Tabby. Just kidding. But being late is not fashionable. Nobody cares what you, unless, I mean, if it's an emergency, people will understand that. But if it's just chronic, like I used to be chronic, it's bad to be chronic. And you can always just allow yourself some more time, honestly. And this punch board does have a lot more card sizes and paper sizes, and you can use, as long as they're square, I think, you can use a 10 by 10 sheet, but I don't have, you know, I don't want to use my 12 by 12 papers and cut them down to 10 by 10. That's just me. But yeah, I'm in no way endorsing. I don't get paid by We Are Memory Keepers, and that's not something that I do. I'm just showing you the tool I have and what I'm using it for, and how I'm making it happen, and how I make these gosh darn cutie little envelopes. And I forgot to put Velcro on this one. And it doesn't really matter if you put the fuzzy on top or the, like the grippy part on top. It really does not matter which you put in which place. That is a personal preference. So this is the grippy piece, this is the soft piece, but if you did it the other way around, it's not going to matter. And it holds your envelope closed in a journal. What else? Well, it looks like the Januaries are finally over. If you deal with depression and seasonal anxiety disorder, trust me when I tell you, I understand, because it's hard to deal with the Januaries. That's what I call it, the Januaries. And it's dark outside. That's why I think that daylight saving times would be better year round. Because, yeah. Because having more light more of the time, I mean, we're going to have that dormant part of the year when things are darker, and we have to deal with that. And I'm not saying that every day should be a party and every day you should feel, oh, like jumping up and down for joy. I'm not saying that, but you shouldn't have that constant feeling of oppression, like, woe is me and everything is horrible and my life is terrible. Because I can promise you, if you have access to internet and you can watch this video, there is somebody out there who would love to be in your shoes. Because everybody on our planet does not have internet. They don't live indoors. Some people live outside on purpose. That would not be my choice, but if you want to live outside and that's your preference, I say good for you, because outdoors is good, and I love being in nature. But I love living indoors and sleeping inside where I don't have to worry if I'm going to get eaten by a coyote or something crazy. You know, we can all be more grateful for what we have, especially me. Gratitude is important. And every day, you know, I work in customer service, and sometimes I get these people, and they're like 2-year-olds in adult bodies. And I think sometimes did these people have any parental training? And then I think about how much they spent for the thing that they called me about. And would I be that angry? Maybe. Probably. I might not be as good of a customer as they're being. So, you know, there's that. But when I get off the phone with one of those people, I find something that I'm grateful for, and I write it down. And I date them. Some months are worse than others. I trend in January and December that people are not as kind. You would think that around Christmas time people would be more kind, but they're really not. They're not, because they want their family thing to be perfect, and whatever service I'm offering is not good enough for them sometimes. So there's that. I do try to treat everyone with kindness and respect, even those people who call and the first words out of their mouth are, "Why did you sell me this disgusting piece of garbage?" And I'm really cleaning that up. Y'all don't know. So if you call somebody this week because something you have is broken, 2 things. Have the model and serial number, and that first person who answers the phone is there to help you. Help them help you. Don't ask them, "Why do you need my model and serial number?" They need it so they can help you. If they didn't need it, they wouldn't ask for it. Because every model is different, and every serial number is like a VIN number for, you know, if maybe it's your car. So maybe you need the VIN number. Please be kind to customer service representatives. Also, as Easter is approaching, do not, for whatever reason, if your family is coming to look at your oven, don't invite them over. But do not run the self-clean on your oven. Do not. Easter's coming. People are coming over. If it's not Easter for you, there's another holiday I'm sure that you celebrate around the spring. Please, please, please do not run the self-clean on your oven. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Why? Because it's going to break your oven. If you haven't run it in 15 years, don't start running it now. If you are nasty and you have a nasty oven, just be nasty with your nasty oven. Scrub it out with soap and a sponge. But do everybody a favor and do not run that self-clean option. I don't care how much your appliance costs. I don't care if Grandma used to do it. There's a lot of things Grandma used to do that I don't do. One thing my grandma used to do that I don't do, thank the Lord, is wash clothes on a rub board in a bucket and boil water outside over a fire. And let's see, what else did she used to do? She used to churn her own butter. I'm glad I don't have to do that. So just because Grandma did it, don't mean you have to. I love my grandmother more than most people love their grandmother. But I do not have to go through that. And neither do you. So please save yourself. Save your dinner. Save Aunt Betsy's judging eyes. Don't let them in the kitchen. If they're going to judge your oven, just don't let them in the kitchen. Also, be kinder than necessary to anybody, but especially to your customer service people, because you don't know what kind of day they had. You don't know what kind of people thought they could talk to them any kind of way. So, I want you to know this, though. If you're here and you've lasted till this far, thank you. If you haven't subscribed and you're still here, I'm like, why not? And don't forget, you matter. You are important. And you are enough. And I absolutely love you. Mwah. And I hope to see you in the next video.